Good morning.
Good morning, Sunshine. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm sitting here looking at my notes and I just woke up feeling inefficient.
I just ran across a really interesting concept we're going to talk about on Friday,
Uh-huh.
I think, about clocks and time and how we spend it and everything. And I'm like, it was just a different way of thinking about it. Or maybe it's just redone in a different format. Who knows? But I liked the message and I thought this is really good. So I hear you. As I also look at my desk, which has one stack about this tall and another stack about this tall, but this tall stack is it's horizontal too. The other stack's vertical. This one's sort of horizontal. And I'm like, oh, I got to deal with this
Well,
because it's not good for my space to work in it.
I know my space is not good. I keep saying I'm going to find the time and just organize my stacks, but it's like I plan and I block the stuff out, but I don't have enough time to do what I'm going to do. So I guess I'm just not planning enough time.
I think that high achievers and overachievers consistently look at a project and go, piece of cake, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, one day. And it is not.
No.
It is not. I saw that Starbucks. You're talking my language now, man.
All right.
I had to get one. It's been a week.
Oy vey. I love my coffee and I love my Starbucks. When I was when I first left my ex and we left with the clothes on my back and grabbed the kids and we didn't have anything. I mean, nothing. And we went to my girlfriend's house and just stayed there for a while so I can kind of get on my feet. Anyway, finally got a job, a crap job. God, I don't even know what the first one was. I only had enough money for once a month to buy a cup of a coffee, a latte once a month. And that was it. And I would save it until I'm like, oh my God, I have to have it. If I don't today, I think it just completely, crumble or something. Who knows what, implode. But that was my thing. I'm like, I only have this much money and I'm going to spend it on a latte once a dang month, So I definitely have a love relationship, not a love hate. I have a love relationship with coffee. It is my friend. So good morning, all y'all. How are you?
Good.
Let's hear some good news.
Good.
Oh, morning, Liz. Who's got
Morning.
something good?
I do.
Bring it on.
So last week or the week before, my client went under contract, new construction with DRB Homes, townhouse. And so when we went to look at it and he put it on the contract, we knew that there was a contingency offer on that unit.
Mm-hmm.
Because they told us up front and they said, well, we're gonna
Bump it.
We had already told them, how it works. So we get a call last week saying that that it had he didn't get it, basically.
Okay, so the contingency offer came back and is going to move forward anyway.
They actually had sold their house a couple of days before. They called and said, hey, we're ready to move forward on it. The agent hadn't actually did their job. They hadn't given them the 48 hours notice that there was a contract on it and all of this stuff. So long story short, my client wanted another unit anyway, but he didn't quite qualify for it.
Mm-hmm.
So because he really wanted a garage.
Mm-hmm.
So they told him, they was like, so what we'll do is we'll offer the garage unit to both of you. It's 300 square feet more. And we'll keep it the same price. We won't charge the same price for it. The other people did not want a garage because they wanted the back door so they can fence it in. They had a dog and they wanted to put a fence back there for the dog. So he got the garage that he wanted for the same price. And I have a listing appointment today.
Yay!
Yeah.
That was good news all the way around.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Nice job.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. Who else has got some good news? Somebody's got good news before I start calling people.
My 88-year-old man finally narrowed it down to 3 properties. I tromped all over the hill country showing him up around Canyon Lake. And I am so, well, that's a side comment. So the good news is, I think he decided on one. I've got to look and see if it's in the floodplain because it's by a river. So I'm curious if anybody, I went to RPR because I usually get good flood med, but it didn't recognize the address. So I'm trying to figure out where to get a floodplain map. And the other news is a good news is I got a call out of the blue from this lady that lives in San Francisco and has a rental house out here. And she wants me to look at it and take care of it for her. So I guess that's property management. I have to look at it and see, but I went in and opened it up and found what was wrong with it and told her, and she immediately got in and got it fixed. And she calls me every day, and it was just out of the blue.
Oh,
Did
I
you
love
ask her? Sorry.
Pardon?
No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I love it.
asked her.
I love it too. I just wanted to know if you asked where she got your name.
Well, she said, from your advertising, I guess her son is here and he saw it. And so I don't know. It's in the same area as one of Corrine's apartments. So I don't know what they saw and what they, how they found me, but she said my advertising. So that something must be working.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cool.
I
Yay.
love that. Congratulations. All right. Who else has got some good news?
I don't have anything major, but I do have all 3 certificates now for the REO, Affinity, and Relo.
That
Congratulations.
is major.
It is. I know.
That's
She's
major.
downplaying it.
Well, I guess I'm downplaying it because I still have some questions about how it all works, not in terms of what they give you, but what you got to turn around and give back to them in terms of
Okay.
new business kind of thing, not really the other way around. So that's why I'm a little unsure.
Yep. That's contract. Read your contract.
Yeah, I'll have to get it.
Yep. Live or die by that contract, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good thing to, we should know it anyway.
Yeah, but I don't think they gave us one. I really don't.
Well, if you don't have a contract, you don't have anything in writing, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
she
kind of
said- you said you had REO and Affinity and who else?
the relo for relocation.
Oh, relocation. Okay.
Yeah. The Affinity is, my interpretation is the type of thing where you've got to move because of a job or whatever, but it's not sponsored by the organization, where Relo is sponsored by the organization. So, your job requires you to move from DC to California and they're going to cover it. That kind of thing is for Relo. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you guys are
it's fine.
fine. Yeah. Conversation. It's all good. All right, Liz or Anna, who's coming up next?
I've got nothing in comparison, just been reaching out a lot to my sphere and finding myself pleasantly surprised with all the scheduling I'm doing with connecting with. It was just kind of a touch, and it's turned into these in-person scheduling things to see what's going on. So I'm excited about that.
That's really good.
It is good. All right, I'm going to interrupt before I call.
I'm surprised actually for this time of the year because people are usually,
Busy.
what's that?
Busy. I'm sorry. I finished your sentence, which I shouldn't have done. Keep on going, sweetheart.
No, I was just going to say I was pleasantly surprised because normally everyone is so busy this time of the year. We can't really get it together until after the new year. So I am actually very excited to see some of these people because I haven't seen them in probably 9 months or a year. It'll
love
be great
that.
to reconnect with some of them again
I love
personally instead of over text.
exactly.
Phone
Which
call.
is-
So
Yeah, and you're good face to face. That's one of your strong suits.
I'm better face to face for sure. So yeah.
So I'm gonna actually ask Anna what her good news is, and then I'm gonna say something, and then we're gonna go into whatever challenges we got.
Good morning, beautiful people. How are you?
Good
Morning.
morning.
Hello.
Fine.
Good. My good news is potential good news. I'm still waiting to hear back. I reached out to a team, a local team here who does residential. They do not have a commercial agent for referrals. And I have potentially 2 leads coming in from them. One is for a land development deal here. He just wants to essentially convert it into a softball field. And he wants to scale at about 10 softball fields in the area, in the city, since apparently we don't have any. And I had no idea because I don't follow softball. So, so he's big into that. And the other one is a potential rental for a body shop. But it's up in the area. I have no idea. I have not met with the clients just yet. Just reached out by the agent. So I'm waiting to take that to the next level.
Love it.
Excellent.
Congratulations. Nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Very
Hopefully, hopefully if it happens, it will be fantastic.
That is, and what a great idea also to reach out to local residential agents and ask if they've got a commercial referral person.
Yes, because I realize in my area, Gina, I'm not sure if you guys are seeing the same thing out there. In my area, residential, uh, every other person in the city is an agent. Every other
Mhm.
person.
Where are you
And
located?
San Antonio. So I'm with
Yes, okay.
here. Everyone's a realtor, literally, like everyone's mom, a brother or sister, or someone, and they're just licensed realtors. One of the areas they do not want to tackle into, and a lot of these even newbies that think they could, just jump into it, they all jump into the residential realm, and it feels like the commercial space is relatively untouched. So
Yes.
when you reach out to
Yes.
them, there's a lot of potential for them to actually partner with you because they do get commercial leads and a lot of investors who want to transgress their business into the commercial side of things. They have no one to send them to, and so I found that as a great opportunity to essentially market myself to the residential ones, and try to come up with a unique referral system that would get them incentivized to keep coming back. So
I will tell
working
you,
on-
I'm seeing the same here in
really,
Northern Virginia, DC area. Everybody's an agent, like everybody's an agent. But
right.
the interesting thing is, and I should have mentioned this in my good news, I connected with a colleague of mine from a commercial real estate brokerage I used to work in, and was talking to her about the state of things, and nobody's in the commercial. It's like taking a turn for sure.
Right.
But we were in the retail sector with the
Mhm.
brokerage that I was in, and that obviously took a hit at COVID. And so recalibrating that whole sector has been quite,
Compromised.
yes, quite
Yes.
compromised in a roller coaster ride. But what I have found interesting is I have colleagues that work in higher education, housing and
Mhm.
higher education particularly. And in this area after COVID, bringing their residence halls back to capacity was like not a thing because they couldn't do it with the COVID restrictions in place. So they were looking for space to lease out or work with other facilities so that they could bring the full capacity of their residence halls to the general area of the university, housing whoever they could house on campus and offering housing off campus to the other students. So in this up here, it worked out with, American University and University of DC, Southern California, DC campus was trying to do something in that space. But what I'm finding or hearing about even across the country is that a lot of the housing operations for higher education, and I wouldn't be surprised if this falls into like medical residency programs or the medical area are working with finding commercial space that work as both apartment type living or apartments, or multifamilies on the residential level to kind of help support those communities.
That's
And-
real. Go ahead.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and
that's great
people aren't
analysis.
kind of tapping into it because it's never been tapped into before, quite frankly. People weren't thinking that these populations need the support.
Mhm.
So when they're thinking apartments, they're thinking traditionally like people transitioning. For me, it was from students in housing into off-campus apartments and so on and so forth. But there are populations both in the education field, not just the undergraduate, graduate student population, visiting professors, individuals of that nature, in addition to students doing medical residencies, or where we have a highly international population that comes in too. And we're always looking to support them in some way, shape, or form. So that's what I'm looking more now at the commercial space, residential too, but because of some of the issues that I've seen coming up with residential support for educational communities, particularly security issues and some things that have popped up recently. I'm looking more at the commercial space to help support those populations because that's where it seems to be trending.
And I think you spotted a phenomenal opportunity that
Mhm.
at the ripe time before before the rest of the world catches on to it. Definitely hang on to it and pursue that, because you are in an amazing area for that. And I
Mhm.
think you found a wonderful niche that has not been tapped into. So definitely hang on to it. A great job on finding it.
Thank you. I'll be holding on to that one tight for sure. It's
Yes,
it's my other love. Higher education is my other love. So anyway, all right, I'm done, Gina. Sorry.
I love this conversation. This is, I have some notes here. I want to go over there that if you guys cool with that? 'Cause I got some ideas right from. Okay. So the first thing is, this is just a side note. What we do in life is just take the next right step. It's the next action, the next action, the next action, the next action. And every single one of those actions that are the next right step with the information that we have at the time it all has equal weight. It's not like this right step is better than that right step, and this one has something better than that. It's equal weight. So it doesn't really matter if you are depositing $1,000 in one fell swoop or $10 100 times. It all has equal weight. It all adds up. It all has equal weight. So don't feel like your good news is small. Your good news is good news. It's good news. It's the next right step going the direction you need to be going. It has equal weight. So that's just that one. That one's aside. Speaking on the commercial and the residential moving that direction, we're in a really interesting market. I was reading some stuff about what's going on, not just housing, but overall the entire economy. Sales are up like crazy, which they didn't expect was going to happen, but they are. Sales are up. Bitcoin's down. Stock market's up again, although it did that big, huge dive that it did back then. And housing and real estate is down. That's a weird market. That doesn't normally, it doesn't normally happen that way. The last time housing went down, everything went down. This time, whether you say the economy is doing good or bad, depends on what you're looking at. Are you looking at sales? Economy is doing fabulous. Looking at housing, economy sucks. Looking at Bitcoin, look at where you're looking at. So we have this really interesting market. So hang on to that thought. The second thought is traditionally, and who knows if this will continue, but traditionally, as the housing market does, let me see, from your point of view, does this. So it'll go up, it'll have a dip, it'll go up higher, it'll have a dip, it'll go up higher. That's just what housing does. And as evidenced, if you look over a grand period of time, 50 years, 60 years, 100 years, housing, where, what your parents paid for a house is not what you're paying for a house, even though it's done some of this. Commercial typically follows 2 years behind that. So as housing is going up, commercial's here, housing comes down, commercial, it's a 2-year behind usually. So moving now that direction towards commercial is a brilliantly smart move because it typically follows a little bit behind. When things get cheap, people want to open up their own businesses. So you just got a lot more kind of going on in that commercial sector. So there's that. And then the other thing that Anna said that made me think about this is Anna said that she reached out, her good news was reaching out to another client or other residential agents that aren't doing commercial. I love that for 1,000 reasons. The first obviously is to get the commercial business and have the referrals coming your direction. The second is, after I did a referral or two from a person, I would probably sit down and have a conversation with them. If they're not EXP, I would sit down and maybe have a conversation with, you seem to be getting a lot of this business. We could do something different where you, instead of just pulling, 25% of the transaction or whatever you're referring back out to that person, you could pull a lot more of it, and we could just train you on the team, and you can do residential. You can do both of it. And the reason why I thought of that is because from running offices, most offices will not allow their agents to be residential. They flat out will not allow it.
No.
And there's all kinds of reasons why. But the basic gist of it is they don't allow it. You must refer your stuff off. They will not let you do it no matter what. We're one of the few ones, and even in EXP, the reason why they're allowing us to do it the way that we do it, rather than being a pure commercial agent, is because Gary promised that he would be mentoring over it. And so that's why he's so involved and so strong in that side of it, because that was the promise he made to EXP, to be able to do it the way that we do it. So there's just a lot of potential going that direction, if that is what's presenting on your plate, especially, and that's an interest of yours.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you talked about how the commercial is behind 2 years. I noticed it, but I didn't really know how far it was behind, because the housing market was like doing really great and commercial was still bad. So I didn't know that it was 2 years behind. So that gives me hope, because I know that now, since the housing market is kind of cooling off, now commercial is still doing good. Because just the other day I was thinking, when would the commercial sector cool off? So we have been hearing about the down payments and stuff for commercial loans are going up, so with different lenders, which is here or there, because you still got different lenders that are doing creative financing for the commercial deals, where they're letting you pick up a second loan for the down payment, and essentially still coming out of pocket with nothing.
Right.
And depending on how good the deal is, and cap rate and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to niche up in the commercial sector. I'm really trying to find my investors some properties. A few of my investors, I shouldn't say a lot, but a few of my investors, they want multifamily properties. The only thing is, a lot of times the multifamily properties aren't advertised.
Yep.
So I'm going in the real e-flow, finding, these multifamily properties, apartment buildings and stuff like that. And, I just got to start mailing them and calling them.
Get on a call also with Gary, so that you can wrap your brain more around what last night was about.
Yeah,
'Cause that will
definitely.
be a
I
really
really
good
like
tool.
that.
Yeah, it'll be a
Yeah.
really good tool for you. And the other thing with multifamily and the rental market, when we bought in San Francisco, we knew that we were only going to live there a year or two, and that was it, like tops, right? And so I didn't want to buy, because the housing prices were sky high, and they were there was no end in sight in the Bay Area, and it was nuts. And a starter home was, at the time, maybe 700,000, 600, 700,000 for a starter home. And so I was talking with a friend of mine who is a real estate investor down there, and love this guy. Steve Andre is brilliant. Love him. And Steve is like, you have to buy, because the prices are, pushing up towards $1 million now. And I'm like, and I come from, at the time, your average house was, 2.25. I was like, dude, this makes no sense to me. And he goes, you don't understand. He goes, when the market is going that sky high, and it's already that sky high, you pour everything, and you're only going to be there a short time. You pour everything that you can to get into it, and you ride the equity wave up. And I promise you'll make tons of money. You'll be set forever. And I was like, that's actually right and brilliant. All right. So we did. We purchased anyway, and we were very, very blessed and lucky. The Chinese stock market fell, and when it fell, I came home to Greg. It was for 2 weeks. It was really depressed. But I came home to Greg, and I'm like, if we're going to do it, we got to do it right now. Like, we need to put an offer in right now. because the market in the Bay Area is very driven by the Asian population. And when the Chinese stock market fell, that was it. They just left in droves. And that was a good 50% or more of the market. And can you imagine if one day 50% of the market just walked, literally just walked? And that's what happened. So there was a house, it dropped significantly. We put our offer in, we got it. We rode that equity wave up. So I told you that to tell you this. Right now, there's not an equity wave that you can ride up. So when people are the shorter term stuff, like Liz was talking, like around hospitals, education, that kind of thing, it doesn't make financial sense to purchase short term because the equity is going down. So that's why multifamily and rentals, especially in those types of transient, military, anything that's moving in and out quickly makes sense in a market that is going down. Does that all make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting market. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the builders now are offering crazy incentives.
Yep.
Mhm.
They do.
Yeah, like DRB. They used to be Dan Ryan Builders. Now, they like KFC used to be Kentucky Fried Chicken, right?
DANKN.
So DRB is actually offering, like, on their lowest price communities in the 200s, they're offering like $17,000 to the buyer.
It's nice.
17,000
Wow.
for
Good
down
money.
payment, whatever they want to use it for, a down payment, to buy down points, whatever. My client is actually doing the 2-1 buy down or 3-2-1 buy down, whatever it's called.
Yep.
And and he's getting that 17,000, and he used the whole 17,000 to knock off the price, because he's putting $10,000 down.
Mhm.
And they're giving me a $3,500 bonus.
Mhm.
See,
So-
it's lovely, isn't it?
Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So some of their communities are up to $30,000 for they're giving back to the buyer, and then bonuses up to like 10,000, I think.
So
agent.
what do you want to do with that information?
I'm gonna put it out there. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it as far as telling what builder it is, because
Oh,
I
heck
want
no.
them. Yeah, so I want them to come, to message me and talk to me to see about these homes. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it. So last night I should say, I was up this morning about 2:30, and just woke up out of the blue, and I had a thought. So it was centered around this and posting, and also sort of what to post. And then I came up with also like doing a Tuesday tidbits, or
Mhm.
like once a week or twice a week, give some tidbits on the market, just being more visible actually
Mhm.
on
There's
social
so
media.
much stuff that you can talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, we don't have newspapers anymore, but open up the news and there you go. And then
And-
how does that relate to real estate?
Yeah, and then I had one other idea, like what we what we talked about on the class, what the class was about last night. So get that information, and then the following week I can talk about that.
Mhm.
So go back, watch the recording, get more information about it. Next week, go and talk about some of that, and put that information out there and see what I can bring to me.
That's exactly what Gary intended with getting Monday Night Live going and the way it's going. He intended it, one, to help you, two, to give you ideas, expand your brain as to what's out there, but three, for you to rob, pillage, plunder, steal, and be able to repost on a consistent basis really good information that nobody else is talking about. Or
Yeah.
that it would take 100 years to go pull it all together. Because of his format, he's got that magnet that's drawing them to him, because he's in so many different arenas of his life, and been doing it for so long, that you guys get to go take it and then take it back out to the world. and use it to build your businesses.
Yep.
You know, Craig, you could always just call it whatever day it is tidbit,
Yeah, that's
and
what
that
I
way
was
you
thinking.
could pull it in any day you want.
Yeah, and I want to be more visible on social media. One day, or it may be multiple days during the week. I'm not sure yet. I gotta kind of get it scheduled out. But yeah, you're right. I might do 2 days of tidbits or whatever, but I don't want to just be about real estate. I want to,
Have it
talk
be
about
about
some
life.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Life, fun stuff, funny stuff, especially depending on what platform you're on,
yeah.
So
And I actually used to do really good with lives. I had a whole Facebook Live thing that I did. I would go out and interview people in the community. So I got to get back to doing that.
Guys,
But I had to take a
Started.
break.
what's
I had to
that?
take a break.
Oh.
I was burned out from social media. All of the crazy comments, and I was just like, I got to get off. And so now,
Ah,
I've had a break, and I'm rejuvenated. So I'll get back to it, and I think I'll know how to handle it better this time.
I love this. I just ran across, I don't know what he did. I don't know anything about him. I ran across this guy and he was talking and his message was really good. So like I said, I don't know what caused the controversy that got him in so much trouble, where the media he's in the media. The media did a massive attack against him. And he goes, here's the deal. I made up my mind to talk deliberately and to not just be like, to think, because I can either just spout something off or I can talk about what is true and real and important. And for me to have integrity in my life, I need to do this one. And if I do this and I state my opinion and how I truly feel, it is going to upset some people. And that's just the way that it is. And when it does, he said, I have to think about, did I really mean that? Yes, I really did. And then I got to stand there. And he goes, and then the media is going to attack you. And they're going to attack you and they're going to throw everything that they can at you. He goes, but what you do not do is you got to really, he said, because what's going to happen, you're going to start second guessing what you did. Did what I do was right? Did I do this? Did I do that? He goes, if your words are important and you weigh them before you speak them and you absolutely mean that, then you stand by what you said. I absolutely believe this is true. And you stand there and he goes, and it's really, really, really hard because for 2 weeks at most, they're going to throw everything at you that they can. He goes, but what happens when you do that? And when you stand, he goes, after 2 weeks, they're going to find something else and they'll move on because they won't have power anymore. And he goes, and when you consistently do that and stand off, this is what I really feel. And it's not a prideful thing, because if you can bring me knowledge that I didn't know, that's awesome. But if you can stand there, he goes, they lose all their stones. And the second time they try and throw stones at you, there's less stones. And the third time there's less stones. And the fourth time there's less stones until finally you've removed all the power because there are no stones to throw at you anymore. And I really was processing through what he was talking about. And the thing that came to my mind is, because I've definitely put stuff on social media and people are like, and the thing that came to my mind, my having a strong faith in something or opinion in something or belief in something does not in any way take away yours or remove yours. It's my faith and belief. This is what and we have to have, if we don't stand on something, we don't stand on something. I mean, we just don't. So I decided that that's what how I want to live my life. And because I'm in social media again, which I haven't been in, and I'm sure that I'm going to say things that are going to piss off some of the trolls, because there's a million trolls out there and whatever, that's what they do, they troll. And I mean, I've learned some stuff from the last time when I got, oh God, I had this one guy troll at me really, really, really bad, and then took everything. So he was throwing all kinds of garbage at me and I was just calmly responding back. I mean, he pissed me off, but I was calmly responding back, and he was attacking my Christianity. He was attacking me as a human being. And he's just a vile person. Then what he did, he removed all of his comments and left just mine and screenshotted it and put it on his wall and started smearing me on his wall. I was like, you evil bastard. But now, because of situations like that, I have some rules and boundaries around my social media. Like I don't care if you've got strong comments. You can have strong comments. That's totally cool. You cannot misalign another human being, myself included. You cannot like attack us for, you know what I mean? You just, it's like not allowed. Like you can say that you don't believe in what I do. You can have all kinds of viewpoints. We can have a great conversation about it. But if you start going to a place that I'm, where you're smear attacking somebody, anybody on my page, then you get one warning. And if you do it again, you're done. Like you're off my page, you're done. And that's it. You get one shot of, hey, keep it civil, and hey, we've had some really great conversations, but when you do that, it does expose to that person. And it's like, no. So I really liked what he said, though. His name is Jordan Peterson, and he pissed off some woman in England. I do not know what he did, but the talk that he gave about it, which has been all over the media to say, this is what I am going to do. And I'm sorry I'm sorry. And when you do that, when you live your life that way, you have to expect that that's what's going to happen on sometimes.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson is the man.
Yeah, I was gonna
Is
say
he?
he has a lot to say about a lot of things, and he does upset a lot of people and makes no apologies for it. He's just like, this is who I am.
And he's
if
always calm.
Yeah, you can
calm.
find a lot of out. He's done books. He's done. He's done a lot of podcast interviews. If you just kind of Googled him to search on Spotify or something, and you'll be able to hear a lot from him. He has a lot to say.
Yeah,
that kind of really starts a conversation with people that is uncomfortable sometimes, but I think needed.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So anyway, I'm back in social media again, and I expect that sometimes stuff's going to happen, and that's just what I'm willing to look at my viewpoints, but if you bring me more information, I am not prideful schmuck that knows all the answers, because I don't. So bring me some stuff and let's dialogue, because I'd rather dialogue and I'd rather understand how you feel too.
Yeah.
Anna?
Yeah. Anna, your hand's up, sweetie. Nope. Anna's hand's not
Yeah,
up.
it is.
Up.
Sorry, I was trying to find the mute button and then my phone started glitching. I'm sorry.
You're fine, honey. All
Okay,
right.
so speaking of social media, guys, I hope you can benefit from the crazy mess that I have been experiencing for the last two weeks. I don't think I shared it with you, but basically about 2 weeks ago, someone hacked my account during the time that I was actually in the process of just onboarding on EXP. So I was like back-to-back meetings, back-to-back, training stuff and all of it. And what happened was someone got into my account and posted some really, apparently what I later learned was really horrid material. It was like child pornography.
Oh my God.
On my personal profile on Facebook. Mind you, 95% of my business was generated on Facebook the year before. So it was literally, I had dumped all my eggs into the Facebook basket. And unfortunately, after that, everything started spiraling down. Because my Instagram account was linked to my Facebook, Instagram shut me down, even though I did not violate any community standards there. And Facebook, for 2 weeks now, I'm in a back and forth with. Whoever did this came back and hacked multiple times again, despite the fact that I changed passwords, I changed everything. And the craziest part is I was running commercial site selection research on RPR the other day, and I noticed that one of the devices that was marked as a mobile device under my account was not my phone at all. It was an iPhone 14. I do not own an iPhone 14. And somebody logged into that, and then my password management software flagged my 2 MLSs that I'm a member of as being compromised. So that really lets me to think whoever's doing this has some interest in real estate, because they went into RPR, they went into both my MLSs. And then yesterday, one of my, someone that was apparently following me on Facebook um, had reached out to me. She called me and she said, "Hey, I wanted to see how you're doing because the same thing happened to one of my agents, apparently in her team." So I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, so
It's fine.
whatever is happening, please be careful. Unlink your Instagram accounts from your Facebook, because whoever, I'm not sure if realtors are the target or just randomly. It's okay. Or just like a random target. I have no idea, but whatever it is, it has definitely taken a huge toll on my business. I literally use my profiles just for that, to be honest.
I can share
Gotcha.
some information here because I
Yes.
wouldn't, I got hacked twice. I got hacked pre-COVID in 2019, at the end of 2019. And then I just got hacked recently, and I wouldn't have known I've gotten hacked recently if Gina didn't make me aware of it. So Facebook has been a hot mess for me. I'm coming off of it altogether. And what I found recently was that the recent hack in Facebook was inside.
Mm.
Or some of it was-
Facebook?
Facebook?
Yeah, it was inside with their employees. Some of their
Wow.
employees were let go because they were found to have been hacking accounts. I read it in the Wall Street Journal, and that's the only place I can assume, it happened the second time, because I totally got kicked off the first time, could not get reinstated back in 2019 because of what they were posting. And then, like I said, I wouldn't have known this time unless Gina told me she was trying to send me something and something else came back. And I was like, okay, what's happening there? So I deactivated my account this last time, but then I read in the Wall Street Journal, I think it was about
We
just a
lost you,
week
Liz.
ago. Oh no. Can you hear me?
Still lost you.
I
Oh
can hear.
no.
No.
Oh,
can
hang
hear
on.
her.
No, I froze. You guys are
Okay.
good. Somebody move.
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's
Okay,
me who
so-
froze.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say, I read about a week ago that it was inside Facebook. They found a bunch of employees that were hacking, and I don't know if they're going after specific groups like realtors or whatever, but there was a group found inside Facebook that was hacking accounts and was.
Crazy.
My God, and you know what? To be honest, it really felt like it was Facebook coming after me, because genuinely, I'm not even kidding. At some point, I questioned myself. I'm like, am I being completely out of this world at this point with the way I think? But really, every single time I uploaded my ID to verify my account, they would let me back in and would keep sending me links over and over again on my email to
Yep.
reset my account. And so I feel like that was just getting the new password consistently. And that email was from Facebook. It was a Facebook email. And it really felt like they were doing nothing to protect me and were doing everything to shut me down, and did nothing to catch the perpetrator.
Exactly.
File an
So-
FBI report. So this was an official finding. They actually found a team of attorneys.
If I can find the article, I will send it out, but I read it in the Wall Street Journal that
Wow.
there are a group of employees inside of Facebook that were let go because they were found to be hacking accounts.
Oh my
And
God.
I hope they'd give more than just let go.
Yeah, for
Well,
real.
I would hope so too, but I'm so over the drama with social media. I'm just kind of like, good, let them all go to jail. I don't even care at this point. But
Mhm.
let them go to jail. But it was when you say it seemed like it was Facebook or somebody inside doing it, it seemed kind of strategic. I'm like, this is kind of weird. Gina, if I can find it, I'll send the article to you so you can send out to the group or post wherever you post. But I do remember reading, because I'm like, what? This has been going on since 2019 for me. I've been uber sensitive about all my social media information or any of my personal information getting out there at all, because I am so sensitive that I'm going to get hacked again. And when Gina told me it happened, I was like, that is it. I'm coming off the platform. I don't even belong to the groups that we can be in on the team and stuff on Facebook, because I just do not have a presence there. I do not want the drama it creates with these hackers, whether they're outside or inside the company, getting into my information. And like you said, putting in information that is not even mine
Mhm.
out there on other sites. Like they got in my bank accounts and everything. So I'm just like, I'm not trying to be in that space again personally, but I did read the most recent one was inside Facebook.
There's the article right there. Meta fired workers for allegedly accessing user accounts. It was
Yep.
from November of 2022. And in the full headline says something like, in return for payments in the thousands.
Yeah,
So,
Wow.
that was the
Yeah.
article. I read on the Wall
And-
Street Journal, but yep, that's the
Yeah.
article.
yep.
And I found that Instagram is really spammy. I hardly ever post anything on Instagram because you know, I just have all of these spam people come when I
Mhm.
post, and you know, um the ladies that's you know, they comment and then they're half naked and they don't have any followers. They follow people, they haven't posted anything, and they have a
Yep,
website that they want you to go to. Then I
yep,
get these people that you know, contact this person, they've done this for me with the Bitcoin and all of this stuff.
right.
I mean, it's just crazy. So
It's
I hardly
constant.
ever put anything on Instagram.
Yeah,
And
I'm not I
Facebook's
don't
full of
want.
ads too.
So what?
And Facebook is full of ads now too.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm personally, so I've been thinking about this, about what social media platforms I want to, because I want to go, I want to move that direction. I'm going to move off of the texting. I've been doing the texting for 2 years. Mostly for, for a whole slew of reasons. One, they keep on, even though I've done the double opt-in, if you ever say anything, it automatically shuts everything down. And, you know, I read the laws and the rules and all those kinds of things to make sure I was on the right side of the law. But they just keep on getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And I'm like, okay, I need to move in other directions. And I do want to move the other direction of social media and going that direction. However, I sat down and I was like, I can't operate all social medias. I just can't do it. So I need to pick which ones I want to go after. And I was very, very deliberate on the ones that I'm picking and what direction I'm going based upon where is my audience, where is the greatest potential, what has the opportunity for me to be able to ride a wave up versus riding, you know, some sort of wave down. And then who am I and what am I about, and what audience is out there that would appeal to also. So putting all that together, in social media, you either need a lot of money, a lot of time, or a lot of followers. You need one of those three things, or preferably all three at some point, but you got to start with one of them. You either got to dump your time into it, dump your money into it, or have a lot of followers. I have the followers on Facebook, so that's all my followers. I have time and I can build through with TikTok, and I believe that that's a good audience demographic for me, not an Instagram or a Pinterest or a LinkedIn, just for who I am and what I want to put out there. So I'm going that direction. And then YouTube we're going, because that gives me a place to host the longer videos and to be able to drive with the short little ones over to the longer platforms. So, and I can interact, I believe, on, you know, that many platforms with the levels of interaction that would be required to maintain, you know, presence across that. So that's what direction we're going. But just think about if you're going to go social media, you know, where's your audience, or where do you want to put your money, or where do you want to put your time? Any one of those three, and what is your message, and who does it really apply? Who's your audience? Where's your tribe? Where's your people? And then kind of, you know, weave all that in as you're figuring it out. So that's our 2023. Although we're getting started here as soon as my desk gets cleaned off and I finish my last paragraph of the class I've been writing. I have one paragraph left and then we're done writing that. So anyway, anything else, anybody?
I just want to circle back quickly to the commercial stuff that we were talking about earlier. Just two quick things. The sector in commercial that you're in matters. So some of it tracks 2 years behind. When I stepped out of commercial when COVID started, they were talking about recovery not potentially coming in the retail sector till 2024 because it was hit so hard. But there's also two very good reports that are out there that will tell you what is happening in the commercial sector. And it's the Marcus and Millichap Best Performing Cities report that they do every year. It's either 2020 or 2023 right now. And the PricewaterhouseCoopers trends in real estate trends 2022 or 2023. And they'll tell you everything about what's going on in the different commercial sectors and where they're trending. And even what areas are, you know, they'll rank the areas, the locations for what is better for, you know, the different industries in the commercial spaces. So I always go back to those reports every year. They are fantastic. And if you are not tapping into those reports, you should look at them. They're voluminous, they're hefty, but they're worth the read for sure.
And who does Best Performing Cities? I missed that.
Marcus and Millichap.
Markets and what?
Millichap, Milicchap. I think that's how it's fully spelled.
Yeah, I don't know if it's one M, one L or two L's.
Right. If you Google it, you'll be able to get PDF copies of both
Okay.
reports
Yep.
from
Yeah.
their sites, and you can just download them and print them. But they are an absolute, they have been a go-to staple resource for me for probably a decade or more, and they're fantastic.
That's another cool thing, to grab snippets and be able to put posts up with taking a snippet of information off of it, rewording it, and then posting that.
Mhm.
You probably have enough fodder for the whole year. I mean,
Yep,
they're right. They're hefty, big, huge, and it's awesome.
they are great.
Yep. So cool
They are-
beans. Thanks,
That's
Liz.
all I wanted to add. You're welcome. Thank
All
you
right,
all.
y'all.
It's
Thank
been
you.
great.
No, thank you guys. Once again, as always, I love this community because it is a community, and it's such a great community because of what you guys bring to it. Like, that's what it is. So it's cool. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Have amazing day and just do the next right thing. That's it. Thank you, Kay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.